Funding for Schaeferless is provided by
Wario Amiibo in Precarious Situations, which is my new Twitter account where I post pictures of Wario Amiibo in precarious situations. I didn't get a real sponsor for this video because I don't expect it to do well, but that's okay. As long as this video gets like 400 views, that's all I need. Because that's 400 people that I'm spreading the word to about the most amazing movie I've seen in years. I'm only partially exaggerating. So for ShinyCast, which is a podcast I do with my friends, check that out as well. Damn, I should have had that be the sponsor for the video. Oh well, live and learn. For this podcast, we have a segment where William drops off 4 movies at my house that I haven't seen yet in order to get my first reactions of them. These range from classics like The Thing, to modern hits like Shazam, to stuff I've never even heard of, like Summer Wars, which is a movie that starts out as a cute slice-of-life anime about a guy who pretends to date a girl in order to appease her family, only to end with the whole family racing against the clock to stop a nuclear missile from hitting their house. You know, typical anime stuff, it's great. William designed the segment with the explicit hope that one day, I would be so compelled by one of these movies he recommended to me that I would make a video on it. And it finally happened. One fateful day, he dropped off a copy of a movie entitled Lake Michigan Monster. I had never heard of it. Neither have you, statistically speaking. It's only been logged by 669 nice people on Letterboxd at the time I'm writing this. It doesn't even currently have a Wikipedia article. But as soon as I finished watching it, I knew that I had to get the word out about this movie as much as I could. This is one of the funniest, most creative, most quotable films I've seen in quite some time. I've currently watched it 5 times over the course of the past month, solely because I wanted to show it to all my friends. And yeah, they all love it too. If I had to describe this movie, I'd call it a mix between The Lighthouse and the Patchy the Pirate skits from SpongeBob, while also feeling like it was written by Scott the Waz and edited by Cat Icarus. The plot follows Captain Seafield, a ship captain hell-bent on killing the sea monster that killed his father. Thus, he recruits a team of experts named Dick Flynn, Nedge Pepsi, and Sean Shaughnessy to help him track down and kill the monster. And that's what the rest of the movie's about, just watching this mad captain and his faithful crew attempt to take down this beast. This movie came out in 2018, but it's all filmed as if it's a classic black and white horror movie, and thus, it's one of the best spoof movies I've ever seen. It fully immerses itself in the aesthetics of the genre it's parodying, while also delivering banger joke after banger joke, edited in such a compelling way that it's insanely entertaining. It's only 78 minutes long, which makes it breezy and endlessly rewatchable, which is great because there's actually a ton of little plot and character details you wouldn't notice on a first viewing. This movie absolutely rewards multiple viewings in order to catch all its little hidden details. I said earlier that I've seen it 5 times in the past month, and I could honestly go for a 6th. It's that good. But don't just take my word for it. My friends are so smitten with this movie that it's been all we've talked about and referenced lately. And they have some stuff to say about it as well.
Lake Michigan Monster. Where do I even begin? I'm sure James will have said enough to convince you, but holy cow, this movie rocks. Everything from the acting to the editing to just how the movie unfolds and the little subtle things you pick up on a second watch through make it a very darn good movie. Everything about it screams low budget, but it's edited so well that you'd think they had a larger budget than they actually did. The special effects? Just magical. Chef's kiss, if you will. Especially the build-up to the final showdown between Captain Seafield and the titular monster. And if Milwaukee didn't have those ordinances, we wouldn't have this amazing movie. And it has my favorite character, Dick Flynn! Now I know why he's called Dick.
So, Lake Michigan Monster. This was kind of a blind grab for me back in April when Arrow was doing their Easter sale. I first heard of it back in 2020 when it was announced they picked up the distribution rights. The horror and monster movie circles were talking about it briefly before it fell off the conversation. I guess Gamera was just the priority back then. I just kind of saw the name, made a mental note of it, didn't look any further into it, and then when I saw that was in the sale, I just kind of bought it. So I went with no expectations other than, it has a monster in it. And, yeah, it was probably the best blind watch I've ever had other than Parasite, and even Parasite I at least knew the director. Yeah, it has a small budget, but it's not the size of your budget that matters, it's how you use it. You have billions of dollars to spend on your movie, but if it still looks like early PS3 models flying around, I'd rather just have a guy in a suit. At least that's actually something on camera. The movie is a gag a minute and almost all of them hit. It's fast-paced, only really slowing down a bit towards the middle, but when it's going, it's going. Every time you watch it, you might even pick up something new. And it's a great time alone or with friends. Trust me, I've done both. Definitely give it a watch if you can.
I be Papscroft.
I know! Tell them that!
I be Papscroft! And I only really wanted to do a part in this video to say that. What can be said about Lake Michigan Monster without spoiling the comedy or the plot twists? The simplicity of Seefeld and his motley crew hunting a monster becomes muddled halfway through the movie, as Nedge, Dick, and us, the audience, start to realize that Seefeld may not be as enigmatic and accomplished as he seems. There's a massive change in the character dynamics halfway through the movie, but the movie's story doesn't feel scattered because the trajectory of the plot is consistently Seefeld looking for ways to hunt the monster. The only thing about the basic synopsis that changes is the question of what makes a Lake Michigan monster? And what makes a man? It's hard to believe that such an enriching, multi-layered tale can be found in this shitpost of a movie. Bottom line is, go watch this movie. It's as William said, people who don't watch this movie are pussies. And that was the end of it.
He never said that.
That was the end of it!
He never said that.
Okay, he never said that. But you catch my drift. This movie must be watched with your own pair of eyes.
Lake Michigan Monster is a fun movie. I mean, I guess my favorite thing about it would be the little details that come back later. Like, I was pointing stuff out while we were watching it, or while I was watching for the first time and everybody else was watching it for the millionth time, I don't know. Then we're like, oh, hey, a fathom is 6 feet, and then they joke about that in the movie. Or, oh, hey, is he gonna take those that got... And then he takes them out at the end of... Oh, wait. Spoilers. Sorry. Basically, if you're okay with absurdist humor and just accepting really wacky premises, which is what our friend group does, then you'll have a fun time with this movie.
Lake Michigan Monster is like The Lighthouse, but funny. It's like a much longer YouTube video, but instead of watching on YouTube for free, you pay money to see it on a Blu-ray. I mean, you could also just watch it on Tubi for free, which is nice. You know, Tubi is pretty cool. You should watch more stuff on Tubi if you haven't. It's a nice streaming service. Sure, you gotta watch ads, but... wait, I got distracted. Anyway, yeah, watch Lake Michigan Monster. Watch it on Blu-ray, because then you'll have a cinematic masterpiece on Blu-ray. And you can shake it around like this. Listen. That was the Blu-ray. I shook it around. Anyway, I'm obligated to say this. Ghost Army!
So the reason I like Lake Michigan Monster is because it's just so fun. It feels like a bunch of friends got together and just decided to make a funny movie. I think it's witty and I think it's unpredictable. And I generally just love the characters. They're so funny and out there, so I don't know. I think everybody needs to watch Lake Michigan Monster.
Lake Michigan Monster is possibly a phenomenal example on how to parody a B-movie monster flick back like in the early days. Now, I can't brag for too long about this because it's supposed to be like a minute short, but I just want to express as I can as quickly as possible. So let's get into it. So I'm pretty sure you all know the plot of the story. Captain Seefeld and his group of misfits go on a journey together to Lake Michigan to find this mysterious monster that just lies in the ocean.
It's the name of the movie.
And they just come up with like wacky ideas to capture it. Also, I just want one recommendation. Y'all need to listen to Dear Captain Seefeld. That song is a banger, and I'm so pissed it ain't on digital stores. Get this shit on Spotify, damn it! So anyways, yeah, Lake Michigan Monster is possibly the most crackhead energy film you ought to just have to get together with your friends with. Y'all need to see it. If you haven't took my word for it, I'm sure you've taken everyone else's words for it, but yeah, this thing is amazing, and I love it. So anyways, I think I'm done with my elaborating here. I think it's time we end off this video. Take it away, James.
Okay, so OMG, the Lake Michigan Monster is so fucking hot. Like, seriously, I want her to me in the ass with her and as I am sucking her Oh, you meant my opinion on the movie! My bad. Sorry about that. Anyways, it's an absolute cinematic masterpiece. You should watch it. And also, the monster isn't too half bad either.
So yeah, Lake Michigan Monster is a true banger. I didn't want to spoil many of its jokes and surprises that it has in store in the third act here, because this is definitely a movie worth going into blind. I hope I've convinced you to check it out. You can rent it on YouTube for $2 for the standard definition version, or $3 for the HD version. It's also available on both Tubi and Amazon Prime Video if you have either of those. Please check this movie out, log it on Letterboxd, all that good stuff, because it deserves way more attention. It is truly a sight to behold. 9 out of 10, highly recommends. And follow my Wario Amiibo and Precarious Situations Twitter, and watch ShinyCast, and subscribe to Space Chris 7 where you can see me and all my friends doing wacky things in video games. Okay, bye!